Okay, I believe we are live. Let me just mute myself real quick. Hold on 1 second. I just want to get the live link and drop it in the chat for you all so you can share that with your folks at home. One more second. Okay, sorry for that silence there. Here is your link if your friends and family cannot find it with what we provided earlier. That is the direct link to the live stream right there. Give me one more second. Will I share my screen right here? Okay, we're ready to go. So now we're ready. Welcome to graduation night for our after hours April cohort. This group has spent the last 6 months with us, earning their full stack certificates in either C# or JavaScript, and in the process becoming badass developers. We all know the time and effort it takes to get here, and we are here to celebrate you tonight. You have made it, and there are exciting new paths ahead of you. We have a full house tonight. We've got our graduating class. We got Grand Circus staff. We've got our alumni guest. We've got our people watching at home. So there's a lot to get in. So we're just going to dive right in. Olaposi, it is all you.
All right. So I would like to welcome everyone. I'm going to talk about the run of show here today. But before that, I would like to just give a little joke because the JavaScript class is not able to receive any of my corny jokes. So let's go ahead and get started. What do you get when you graduate a science class? Nobody knows? A graduated cylinder. Okay, it's bad. However, we're going to get some love from our community. We're going to do the Paper Plate Awards as well. We're going to go ahead and do the after hours for C# and then JavaScript. And then, of course, what everyone is here for, we're going to go ahead and see the marvelous things that the students were able to put together in the final demos. Really excited here. All right, so, oh no, my computer's frozen. So moving on. Am I frozen for everyone?
Yes, you are.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. So moving on, I would like to go ahead and introduce Brian Benham and then Elizabeth Heaton as well. It feels like my screen is stuck here. So, Brian, if you don't mind taking it away.
Sure. Well, hello, everybody, and congratulations. I'm Brian Benham. I'm the Director of Learning at Grand Circus. And basically, me and my team have been responsible for your last 6 months of learning. So I'm glad to see everybody has finished. That's one of our big goals here, is to get you through the curriculum, get you those skills so you can go. And I think I speak for everybody here at Grand Circus that one of the things we really enjoy about this is graduation. We like to see people come in with a dream, come in, acquire the skills that will get them into a position and actually complete the curriculum. And then the next big thing, probably the biggest thing, is helping you find a job. So we're really proud of what you've done. I do want to say that in a graduation situation like this, there's usually somebody talking and they go on for a few hours and then they tell you this and they tell you that. You probably don't remember a lot of what they say. But I think the important thing is how they made you feel or what you're feeling right now. So I hope you genuinely take a moment to appreciate how far you've come in the last 6 months. So many of you probably started with little or no technology background, but right now, after this official graduation, you have been anointed with skills that you worked very hard to acquire, and you're now eligible and will find a job that lets you use those skills. So you've now changed your whole career trajectory. And that's something that we are very proud of. And that is something that you should be very proud of, because you put in a lot of hours of work, a lot of frustration, had some successes, had some failures, but overall, we think that you are coming out of here in the net good, and you should feel really proud about what you're doing. So first, I want to give you a round of applause for that while I can. Thank you. The second thing I want to tell you is this is not the end. You are still part of the circus. You are still part of the family. So even though you are graduating, and Elizabeth will talk about this in a little more detail, we are still here for you, right? We helped you through to acquire these skills. You did all the work. We were just helping. And now it's time to help you get a job. And we will be here indefinitely. So we'll be here long after your first job, second job, third job, whatever it takes to help you maintain a career and find your pathway in technology. So with that, I'm going to hand that over to Elizabeth, I believe.
Thanks, Brian. Yes. So on behalf of Career Services, I just want to say congratulations and great job on a job well done. I know that the last couple of months have been ups and downs and everything in between. And I just want to say on behalf of Career Services, congratulations. Shauna is not here tonight, but she wanted me to let you all know that she is so incredibly proud of all of you. And Laura will be speaking in just a little bit. But on behalf of Career Services, again, congratulations. And the alumni journey now starts for you. So as an alumni with Grand Circus, you are able to obtain all things related to career services that you had during boot camp. So if you need a resume review, if you need LinkedIn reviews, if you need mock interview help, all of those things are here for you from now until you no longer need them. So we have alumni who land a job, a couple weeks after boot camp graduation. They work for a little bit and they're like, hey, you know what? I really want a different job. So you can come back to, Career Services, any member of our team. And we are more than happy to help you job search, help you update your resume with your most recent position, and anything in between that you could want. So with that, I am going to introduce our guest alumni speaker. Some of you may know her, some of you may have heard of her. Amanda is a GC alumni and she is a GCTA staff member as well. So she has seen both sides of the student and alumni journey and now as a staff member. So I will turn it over to Amanda to say a couple of words.
Yes, thank you. Hello, friends. I'm so excited to see a lot of your faces. I really want to echo something that Brian said that is really near and dear to my heart, which is you're a part of the circus pretty much forever, right? I think that I took that to heart immediately after leaving the first boot camp, which struck me to not only join as another student again, but also to be a TA. And let's see, I've tutored with some of you even. So I just want to encourage you to take advantage of that. These are your people. This is your tribe. Whenever you need somebody, you're probably going to find them here. So that's kind of step one and also something I wanted to highlight. But really, I just wanted to congratulate you. Quick word of wisdom is that, of course, you've got your foundation now and you're ready to embark on this journey. But I want you to recognize that this is the first step of thousands, right? You're going to see so many different directions that you can go, roles you can take, things you can learn about. That is all part of this journey. please enjoy it. It's a lot like what you've done here in this boot camp, and you kicked butt there. So you have no idea what you're going to kick butt in moving forward. And I'm excited to see it. So for those of you that I've had a chance to tutor with or get some extra attention, like, thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. For those of you who I haven't met one-on-one, I hope to see you as you move forward. And just biggest congrats to all of you. I know you'll crush it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. And now I'm going to turn the floor over to Laura for some updates on what is to come from the new alumni status you have. Laura?
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. Congratulations again. I know everybody is saying their congrats, and we all genuinely are just so excited for you. So apologize to be repetitive, but just can't say it enough. I know, especially in like that last month-ish of boot camp, it's a lot coming at you. I usually compare it to that last lap of Mario Kart. That's just what always comes to my mind, where everything's intense. Banana peels are thrown at you. The red shell's coming up from behind. And the music's really fast and you're just super stressed out, but then you finish, you did it, and you're all here, and I'm so excited for you. So again, way to rock it. Elizabeth mentioned, of course, and Brian, about the alumni services that now you will receive from us. So once you're here, your family can't get rid of us. So we're going to continue to be a support as we're navigating this job search. One of the ways that I would strongly encourage all of you to take advantage of this support is through something that we call mastermind or mastermind groups. So mastermind is, more broadly speaking, a group that comes together for a shared purpose, a shared goal, problem, whatever it may be, where you are kind of doing that peer-to-peer networking and resource sharing. So we do this at Grand Circus for new graduates, for folks who are navigating a job search in the same time frame, right? Going through very similar ups and downs that comes with any job search, but particularly a job search where you're making this pivot into technology. So some of the things that you can expect out of Mastermind if you decide to participate, definitely a lot of accountability. We meet weekly, so we have a session coming up, as you can see on the bottom of the slide. It starts in just around a month from now, and it will be a weekly report out, essentially, where you're meeting with the same group of people for that same designated time, where you're sharing, here's what went on in my search this week, here's where I'm really struggling, and maybe could use some feedback and some kind of soundboarding with the group here. So there's that accountability, so much great networking and sharing of resources. I'm always amazed at the things that people in my masterminds in the past have found and participated in, and, you know, organizations and events they've gone to that I hadn't even heard of. So it's such a great way to just kind of keep everybody in the loop and all be in it together. And then that last bullet here, you know, I think just having someone else who's going through that same thing can be so helpful, because a job search can feel incredibly isolating, I think, especially when it's, you know, there are those, you know, downturns, and you don't always see people sharing about that on LinkedIn, right? You just see when they get the job. So it feels incredibly isolating in those moments. So to have someone to talk through and be like, hey, here's what happened. Is this normal? Have you all had that before? That can be such a powerful thing to share with one another. So definitely something, like I said, I would encourage you all to participate in. I always give some disclaimers, though, of what Mastermind is not. It's not just Soft Skills 2.0, career services, career coaching continued. We'll be there to facilitate these sessions, but we kind of take a little bit of a step back and really allow that peer-to-peer process to take fold, rather than it being like a group coaching class. So again, just wanted to kind of give that piece. We also ask that if you participate, please focus on that attendance. Attendance is key, because you get out of it what you put in. So if you're missing it, that there's limited benefit from the mastermind if you're not there every week. So with that said, again, we've got this session coming up. It's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. Starts on November 6th. It will be for 5 weeks long. However, we've also had mastermind groups who continue to meet on their own after that, if they so choose. So of course, you could take advantage of that as well. If you are interested, send me over a Slack. I know that it's like, oh, this is a month away, I can sign up later. I would encourage you, lock it in now. Why not? Get it on the calendar, send me over a Slack message. Then I'll send you lots of reminders, won't let you forget. And it'll just be a great way to kind of revitalize the search at that point when it comes around. So again, send me a Slack if you want to sign up, or if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks, Brian. Let's have some fun. Let's do some awards, shall we?
All right.
take it away, Corey.
Okay, so we have the presentation of Paper Plate Awards, and we're going to start with the C# group first, and the instructors that's going to present these awards. So we have Scott, who is our C# instructor for the after hours, and then we have Cassie, who is also our instructor for our after hours for C# course. He's our TA. And then, am I resetting?
Yes.
Scott?
Oh, there we go. We're good.
Okay.
So most likely to be a TV host is definitely John. Anybody who's in the class is well aware of that. His charisma and confidence has always brought this great energy to every single session, and his humor is unmatched. Spice of life is Sierra. Sierra is one of those like interesting spices, right? She makes every day more interesting just by being her entertaining self, right? With the weird comments that come out of left field to the pet tarantulas. Yeah, she's definitely a great person to happen to know. So the humble genius, it goes to Jennifer. Jennifer does a great job of blending her remarkable intellect with a very down-to-earth personality. She's very, she makes jokes about herself, she makes jokes about other people, but she does phenomenal work, and her code is just always top-notch. Brew eggs and grit. So this is for the person who really dives into the details and just picks everything out. And that's Denise, right? She has an amazing knack for detail. I mean, whether it's finding the inconsistencies in my code or the wording in a lab, right? She'll just pick it out and be like, hey, what do we mean by this? Or, hey, this could be misleading. So that definitely goes to Denise. Going out of order, that's good. So Adriana, stealth operator, right? So Adriana does a great job. She's done everything really well, right? She accomplishes all of her labs and all of her projects, but she did it so quietly, so smoothly that there were many times I've asked Kaz, do you think Adriana knows what's going on? Does she need help? Because she never asked any questions. She was just very quiet, very smooth about it. So good job, Adriana. There we go. And Reed, teamwork that makes the dream work, right? If there's anybody I've ever met that embraces the concept of team player more, I can't think. Reed adds value to every single project team he was on. Good job, Reed.
Let's give a round of applause for this whole class. Thank you, Scott. Those were so sweet.
Next up, we have Dan, who is our after hours JavaScript instructor, who will be presenting the awards for his class. Oh, and Jonathan, I'm sorry, Jonathan as well, who is our after hours JavaScript TA.
Awesome, thank you.
I know Dan's here. I think John's pulling double duty.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Okay, so I didn't see Akira here. I'm hoping she's here. Akira gets the award for most likely to start the next tech giant. Akira is such an amazingly hard worker. Every single time that we see her in the classroom, she's always working on like a ton of other things, but always has such great ideas and has even pitched good ideas to myself and John. So we might end up teaming up a little bit later to work on some fun side projects together. But if anybody's going to do it, I expect to see Akira somewhere in a newspaper starting a great company sometime. And then we also have Rachel, who is our silent assassin. Rachel also, just like another student in C#, very quiet, but always doing such excellent work, always very, very straight and to the point, and also is able to really get through all of the labs, all of the assessments that we had without much issue. I also had conversations with John, my TA, thinking like, how is Rachel doing? I think she's doing okay. And then as soon as we see the assessment, we're like, she's got it. She's nailing it. The best part of this too is that Rachel oftentimes could only communicate through the chat in Zoom. And so many times where I didn't have the chat pulled up, and everybody in the class knows I didn't have them up, and she's giving me the answer to all my questions. So excellent job, Rachel. All right, and Avery gets the inquisitive programmer. This is small typo. Inquisitive programmer. Avery, first, I can't remember, it must have been the first or second, maybe third week, came to me and said, hey, this HTML, CSS stuff, this is great. I want to build this project. I want to build out a D&D application, and I want to explore all of these other great things in programming. And from that point on, all of those conversations that I've had with Avery is just been amazing. Just super inquisitive, and also not just inquisitive, but extremely intuitive. So it's just been really great. Great job, Avery. And Nell wins the best attitude award. I don't think I've ever seen Nell not smiling whenever we have any interactions or I jump into a lab to help people out. Nell, you came very close to being the only person to push up sensitive credentials like API tokens into the repository, but we had one other case of that. So I couldn't put it on here, but we all know is very funny. But just an amazing attitude, just such a great team worker. Everybody really enjoyed any time that you got paired up with them or any of the projects, just excellent. All right, and Stacy, if there's any award that Stacy can get, it's this one. Stacy looks everything, or makes everything look easy. Look is doing a lot of work here because Stacy does a ton of work. Stacy makes everything look easy. Not only do I have that perception of Stacy, but all of the class, everybody I've heard from them individually has said, Stacy knows her stuff. Stacy really understands this. And I know from talking with Stacy that she does a lot of work. And that comes through, and she's done such an excellent job. Everybody's super happy when they get to work with her, and they make it look easy. And so sometimes she gets a little bit extra work, maybe that'll happen sometimes, but really well done. It's just an amazing thing, and I'm super excited to see everything that this group does in the future.
Thanks so much, Dan. Those are super sweet. Let's get a round of applause to this JavaScript class. Oh, you really put some thought and some love into those. So sounds like a good class there. Okay, I know you all didn't come here for a paper plate. You want that sweet full stack certificate of completion. So here they are. I got 11 certificates for our after hours April graduating class. Close your eyes, everyone. This is an act of visualization. Our students particularly. Imagine you are coming up on stage. It's a proud moment for you. You're shaking my hand. You're shaking your instructor's hand. I'm handing you this scroll of a certificate. There are cheers. Now open your eyes and please check your email, because moments ago you shall have received this certificate in your inbox like magic. You have now received your certificate of completion, and that means you are now graduates. Congratulations, you all made it. Let's unmute and make some noise for this cohort. What? Who's got the air horn? Okay, that is awesome. You guys did it. But now we gotta move on. The reason we are all here, final project demos. Grand Circus is gonna shut our slides down and hand it over to the students. Okay. I believe we're looking for volunteers for the first one. Is that correct? do we have a group who wants to go first?
Let's do it.
I was gonna say, we'll go first.
No, okay, all right. Do y'all have any further words to say before I start the presentation?
John, it's all you.
Okay, so I need everybody to sit back. Buckle your safety belts because we are on flight APR 2023, heading towards graduation. I will be your pilot. My name is John Steele, C# class, president, unchallenged, but also self-titled. So the first person up will be Reed. Now, before Reed goes on, just wanted to give you a little introduction to our app. Our app is called the Solo Traveler app. Now, imagine you're trying to go somewhere by yourself. You want to take a little trip. We've all graduated. Grand Circus gave us $10,000 to go take a nice little graduation trip. And we want to know where to go. We don't go together. We all go on our own. We have our own adventure. And you need an app. You need to know where to go, where the places you could go, restaurants, sites to see, and also you need to know if it's safe. So we have an app to solve just that problem. Adriana, who is our other partner, is going to display it at the end, but first we're gonna start out with Reed to give us some information, and I'll pass it over to Reed.
Hey everyone. Yeah, so as John was saying, this app that we made allows a traveler to go to a city, get some safety scores, and decide if, hey, do I want to go here? Do I want to go to this location? Is this fun? If not, or is it not? So we first started with Azure and some SQL. We created a database and that holds the traveler name, the location, and the review and rating. And yeah, there we go.
All right, so what I will do is take us through some code. Yay, let's see some yummy code. So I'm going to share my screen. Now, we made our program in Visual Code. We also made our API in Visual Studio. Now, I'm going to take you through, just briefly, some of these different controllers that we have here. Now, you see we have a lot, but what our app allows us to do is grab information from these two APIs. We have the Point of Interest API, and we have the Safe Place API. These two APIs were from Amadeus, and they were like more third-party websites. They didn't come from any of the general websites. So we ran into different issues with the tokens, and we had secret tokens, and we had, just a lot of different things that we had to understand and, code correctly to move forward. So one of the things that we had to do was take the latitude, and that's one of the things that we decided to save in our database to make it more easily accessible when we go to pull information to display in our program. Once we save these latitudes, kind of transferred them, made inputs to display the information and according to the place that is clicked. Now, Adriana will give you a brief demonstration quickly, but I just wanted to show you a couple of things. We have this point of interest component here, and it takes the latitude that is inputted from the database and displays certain information about a place. So it displays things like the overall safety ratings. And then these next things that I'm going to mention are just categories in which they have safety ratings from 0 to 100 based on being very safe or not safe at all. The categories are LGBT, medical, physical harm, political freedom, theft, and women. So that just kind of gives you a brief look at all of the settings and the ratings for different places, so you can kind of determine where you want to go and what's safe for you. It also includes some sites, some nightlife, and some restaurants and shopping, which we have here in our location details, the HTML will show, depending on the latitude of the place that you select, it will show the location name, and in the safe place, it will show all of the scores. So we have these things that I mentioned earlier, LGBT, medical, physical harm, it'll show the scores, and that's how that goes. So from here on, I will let Adriana take over and give you a little demonstration of our application.
Hey, everybody. So here's our app. As you can see, we have our logo at the top, a few links to different pages at the top in our navigation. And the users are first presented with destinations to choose from. So if I click London, you'll get some details about London. You get a map of the area that describes the information below. So you have the safety ratings here. As you can see, it gives you an overall rating right here. And then below is the surrounding cities that fit within this red square. If we go a little further, this will show places to visit. And you can filter this by shopping, by restaurants and nightlife. And then also at the very bottom, we have reviews that are user inputted. So if a traveler wants to say how London is, they can add a review. We also have this page right here to show all the user reviews for all the locations that we have. And then our about page kind of describes the safety scores, what these ratings mean, and then just a little bit about why we have this available to everybody. We also have an admin page that controls the reviews. So if there's a review that needs to be taken down, they have that access here. And if I hit log out, it takes me back, and I don't have control anymore to delete anything. But that's pretty much our app.
So as we land this plane towards graduation for this particular sector, I think that this app has real world implications that could be used today. And I think that's one of the great things about doing projects like this is making something that's not around and fulfilling a need. So thank you guys for listening to our presentation.
Awesome, awesome, amazing job, everyone. Thank you for the flight and thank you for landing us safely. So let's go ahead and get someone from the JavaScript class. Dan, do you have a group ready for us?
Well, let's see. I know Akira's probably itching to show off.
Absolutely.
Take it away, Akira.
Stacy's going to share the screen.
Yeah, hold up here.
All right. So today we are presenting a drink app called Drink Sync. And this app is for people who want to become a cool mixologist, kind of show off for their family and friends, or most importantly, want to save a little money. Sometimes we all don't want to go out, might have had a long day, come home, and might want to make something. But what if an ingredient is missing? So we have a lot of solutions for those things. And right now, Stacy, you want to go through the code?
Sure. So we've got everything hooked up with Firebase here. We've got our backend functions set up. On the front end, we've got our React app with all of our different components listed here. Let's see, you've got when you first go to the page, you're going to go to our main page, which kind of from there you can route over to, let's see, I'm going to go show app here. That app will route you to different places. So you start out on main. You can go to our about page. We have a way for users to log in, all set up through Firebase. So once you're logged in, you can save favorites. There's a route for those favorites there. Yeah, and I'm going to go over at this point to the app itself.
All right, so this is DrinkSync, and you can choose to navigate through the website without logging in. If you don't want to log in, that's fine. You can navigate to about. Oh, I'm sorry. You can navigate to about or home, and you can also sign in. Now you can sign in, or you can, if you don't have a sign in, you can sign up, or you can just sign in with Google. That makes things a lot easier. We're just going to sign in as Stacy. All right, so once you log in and get everything going, you can search by ingredients, you can search by name. And Stacy, if you want to take that back over.
Yep. All right. So when you first get to this page here, we have a drink of the day that populates. So every day, the way we have it set up, there's a refresh that every day you'll get a new drink that pulls from the API. That database just has, we pulled a random drink. So we may set it up so that every day you get a different random drink, and that refreshes. I believe it's at midnight, you get the new one. So, and that's Akira, that's stored in the cache for the browser, correct?
Yeah, so if you want to, if you want to, you know, in the code, what I did was I just stored it in a browser, and I stored it for 24 hours. So every 24 hours, it will automatically update with a new drink instead of every time you refresh.
You can see right here, our last push, we found one error where all of our font has turned to black. So right here is supposed to be where you can figure out how to make the drink, but that is at this point black on a dark gray background. So anyway, that's one of those fixes we'll be doing in the future. So that's our drink of the day. Now we also have our search by feature here. You can search by ingredient or search by name. It lets you toggle between the two. We're going to do a search here for cherry. We seem to like cherry as we've worked through things. So gives you a list of different drinks here. Each of these drinks, you can click on full recipe and it'll show you the full recipe here. If you want to see less, you click it back down and you see less of it. Once you are logged in, you're able to save drinks. So you can click on, let's see, we want to save that one right there. That's another thing that is a work in progress. It's supposed to toggle back and forth once you hit save to give you an unsave feature, but that's work in progress. So we saved that one. Let's search by name here for another drink. And we'll save that one too. And then if you go over to the saved drinks, we've set that up as another collection on our database. And that gives you the full, which I'm now noticing it's double doing it. So there we go. Lots of fun there, little things to tweak and fix. And here the unsave button does show. So you are able, so we can go here and go, okay. Well, that worked yesterday, but naturally it's not wanting to do it today. But anyway, it gives you a list of drinks that you have saved. And now Nell's going to tell you about the last part of our app.
Yeah, so say for example, you find a really delicious looking recipe using DrinkSync. However, it calls for an ingredient that you don't have in your cupboard or at your home bar, you can use our substitution finder. So you can go ahead and navigate to that. And basically what this does is that it pulls information using a GET HTTP request from our MongoDB database that we populated with our own different solutions to common cocktail ingredients that you may be missing. So say, for example, you are missing bitters. So let's type in the word bitters and see what comes up. So there are a couple options that you can choose from. In case you're missing those, here's some ideas that you can use. You can do the same thing for other ones. Let's say like cherry syrup. Let's type that in. So some different ideas to help you save money. And if, say, for example, you come up with your own solution to something that you're missing, you can submit that for other people who are using this application to use. So I want to call upon the audience and ask you guys to come up with some kind of ingredient that you're missing, and how would you remedy it? Anybody?
I would probably do ginger.
Okay, so let's type in ginger.
Oh man, I didn't think that's true. I would probably substitute it with turmeric and club soda.
Good.
So I didn't think it through.
All right, cool. So let's submit that. All right. Then after refreshing the page, submission was successful. There's another instance of the font was supposed to be a lovely golden color. But so if we go ahead and we refresh the page, and then we'll type in ginger to see if we can get that suggestion you submitted. There you go. So that's been added to the list of different solutions that other people can use. So thanks for sharing your idea. So when you submit your own substitute, we use an HTTP post method in order to inject more data that was created by the user into the Mongo database. So you get to add to that as well.
And that is the Drink Sync app. And also, it encourages people to act responsibly when they have something after work, have it at home and keep everyone safe. And that's our Drink Sync app.
Great job, great job. Oh man, I can't wait to have a turmeric and club soda beverage.
It's not too far off.
Awesome job, awesome job. So let's go back to C#. We're going to go ahead and have Jen, Sierra, Denise, take it away.
Oh, yes, hello. Hope everyone's having a great day. My group is with Jennifer Rowland and Denise Machma. So we actually had an interesting concept that I was super pumped to do because all three of us love our plants, as you can tell. Okay. So basically, our goal was to make an app that worked as a gardening assistant, or you could also use it as a gardening tracker. Our goals were to share basically information from a user, and in that user's garden, the garden would have plants. And we used several different APIs. We used a backend API and a couple third-party APIs. We had a little fun finding plant APIs because for some reason there's not a lot of them. I don't know why people don't want to hold on to thousands of names of plants and where they should go, but apparently they don't. So I'm gonna kick it over to Denise. She's gonna go ahead and show you our app, walk you through it. And then Jen is just gonna give you a little sneak peek into our Angular code and our APIs. All right, Denise.
So thank you to the Savvy Spice of Life, Sierra. I'll pull up the app here. I should probably start out by saying that I am not a graphic designer, so I am glad that I was put in a group with Sierra and Jen, who have the ability to put together some of these nice cloud, mushroomy star things. So we start out with the login here. There we go. Up top, we have weather. This is a weather API. The only piece that it shows straight out of the API is the temperature here, but then using other information from the API, it says it's some type of what weather it is, and then shows a little picture again here that they put together. It has our nice logo. This name on the garden comes from the user information, and then you can see your garden here, all the plants you have. So let's look at one. We gave them all a nickname. So Beef Boy is a beef tomato. It gives water requirements. It gives the scientific name, which I will not butcher. Gives you information on sunlight. And then coming out of our database, date planted, last fertilization, last water. And we could put in whatever notes we wanted. And then if you look here, looking at last watered, this was watered a long time ago. Hopefully as an outdoor plant, it's gotten some rain, but time to water your plant. Last fertilized even longer ago, so it's time to fertilize your plant. So these things come and go based on these dates. And then from here, you can go back to the garden or you can update your plant. So if let's say that I watered it today where I am, it was raining like crazy. So, pretty sure that tomato got some water. And now because it got water today, you see the water thing has gone away. So back to garden. Again, a different one. And you'll see on a number of our pages, we have some type of doctor link because plants sometimes aren't the healthiest. So you can look up your plant and say, oh, that's, it has grease spot, which is typically something I think of on my dishes, not my plants, but anyway. So a description here of what does it look like if your plant has this problem and what can you do to fix it? Or maybe it has, this other problem, which I also would not want, to help you figure out what's going on and get your plants healthier. If you add a new plant to your garden, you can click add here. Let's just search for that. Gives you a whole bunch of different options here. Different kinds of time. And then you can add one or you can go back to garden. We also have the option here of updating your profile, your name, username, your password. When we click update profile, then you'll see it gets password there. Back to garden. So that is everything that I had. I'm going to stop my share here and pass it off to the humble genius with great hair, who is Jen.
Super, thank you so much. So I'm just going to kind of talk through kind of like some of the code that we did. I'll share it over to you, but how do I do that? Okay. So more or less what we did is like we brought in a few different kind of like APIs. So we brought those all in through services. We've got services that also connect back to our SQL database that is hosted up in Azure. So that's kind of where we're keeping track of like the user's garden and stuff like that. And then the different kind of plant information is coming through the different like kind of garden service, which talks to our API. The plant service talks to the other APIs. The plant doctor service talks to like the Paranewal API and so on and so forth. So these ones are the good ones. So we brought in all that information. We've got a ton of different components that kind of like manage the different concepts that we're doing. we did like come into like some like issues occasionally with this, especially with this external API that we were bringing in. The way that Paranewel was bringing in the different information for plants as well as for pests, the two different ones that we use from them, it was bringing it in like inside of an array. And so we had to like model it so that you could kind of break into that initial array here where it brings in like the data and then an array of pests. But like this is what it's bringing in. And so we were having a really tough time getting it to display that information. So we had to kind of like break it down like this so that we could like break into it beyond it so we could use the common name and the pictures and stuff like that that we're pulling in from that external API. But I don't know, I feel like the code is fairly straightforward. If you guys have any questions about anything specific, I'd be more than happy to kind of dive deeper into it.
I will
Okay,
say,
but then we could be okay. I'm sorry,
I just want to make a comment because the code looks nice and neat and beautiful, but it's very reminiscent of React. I was just thinking how very similar it is to React. And this is C#, right?
So this isn't. So this is TypeScript. We did the API in
okay.
C#.
Okay.
So like not a lot of this project was written in C#. Most of it was written in HTML and TypeScript. And then of course CSS for the styling. So like we spent a lot of time learning C# and then we used very little of it for this final project. So a lot of what you're seeing is kind of stuff that we kind of learned on the fly in those like last like couple months of this that we're just like, okay, brand new idea. Let's make an app about it.
That sounds even more amazing. Yeah.
So I mean, that's that. So that's C# though, if you wanted to see it. Absolutely gorgeous, right?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome job, everyone. Awesome job. Let's give a group a round of applause.
Wait. Okay.
Oh, you're not done?
No, I am done.
Okay.
I just couldn't find the stop share thing. Thank you.
Great job. Now I feel like I need to download this because I have a lot of plants in distress. So thank you very much for creating this application. And last but not least, going back to JavaScript, we got Avery and Rachel. Rachel and Avery, please take it away.
All right. So our little dynamic duo, we created what we call Fruit Lore. Here, I'll stream it. What this program does is it finds you recipes based on the ingredients that you have available in your fridge. The way that we have this working is we're pulling in the ID from a login on the through Google's login. And that gives you the opportunity to make your own little fridge. So you can see I got some of my stuff in here. And it's generating some recipes based off of the things I have in there so far. So you can see like some mac and cheese, macaroni, that sort of stuff, because I have mac and cheese in there. I have kidney beans in there. So there's a lot of chili too. When we can throw it off, we'll put in like a salmon. Oh, maybe we won't put in. Oh, there's salmon. Okay, I just put it in twice. Went a little slow. So we got some of those in there. Let's put lemon in too. Just in case. Maybe I have some left over, and it should give me some new things. So now this is in here. I don't believe this was in here before. And yeah, that's sort of the bare functionality of it. There were a lot of things that we wanted to get to that we didn't really have the time to get to or the manpower. We have this preferences here. So if you have intolerances of any type or cuisines of any type, you could put those in that you wanted to change the output to get something more specific towards you. We actually used an API, it's called Spoonacular. So there's a ton of things you can do with that, including but not limited to these two. There's also a lot of dietary things. So this could easily pivot into like a diet-based thing, helping people who are wanting to try keto or wanting to try like a vegetarian diet, but they don't really know what to make because they're not familiar with it. Well, here you go. This is the way you would do that. Yeah, Rachel, did you want to
Yeah, so gonna be jumping around a little bit here, but a lot of the creative processes throughout our app's development, largely in part due to Avery, that really awesome fridge that you see on the screen with the really cool animation, all Avery on that, and they crushed it. That was one of my personal favorite parts of the development of our project to see come to life. But to kind of caveat off of some of what Avery was saying, we used Spoonacular, which is an incredible API that allows for a lot of different things. Going back, we had a UPC available. That was one of the things that Avery noticed that kind of made our project stand out a little bit. A lot of stretch goals for this project, but with the UPC, it allows an individual to put that UPC number in, and it'll then generate that ingredient into their own personal fridge. To jump around to the login, that is done with just the Google login to authenticate the user, providing a unique ID for that user so everybody gets their very own fridge. So, you know, Avery gets a fridge, I get a fridge, we all get a fridge with all our personal stuff there. But like Avery said, very friendly based with Spoonacular API with having certain things in mind, such as preferences and allergies, because obviously we want to ensure with users that do have allergies that we can have recipes friendly to them. That is a stretch goal of ours, I know, for the project, in terms of you know, ensuring to maybe even have substitutes, which is available within this API. But yeah, we just we developed this application just thinking, okay, what are we passionate about? I personally love food, so I know I could probably definitely cook more at home. So that's kind of how this app came to be. The fridge lore, again, came from Avery's wonderful mind. But this is our project, this is fridge lore. So hope everybody enjoyed.
Yeah, we can look at in our code a little bit too. There's a lot of things in here that aren't used because we didn't have the time to get around to them. But as you can see, even from this response model that Spoonacular would give back, there's a lot of information that we can get from here. We can get the time that it takes to make. We can get the amount of servings it makes for each recipe. There's also a bunch of stuff for the ingredient. There's an aisle. I don't really know what this would return. I never played around with it, but this is there's a lot of really interesting stuff in here. You could change units, so we could implement things like are you metric or imperial? You know, it would be able to adapt around that. Let's see, is there anything else I want to show you guys in here? I think that's about it. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I do. Is this Visual Code? What program is this?
Yeah, this is VS. This is VS Code.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just wondering. That was all.
Yeah, mine just looks a little bit different. I think we have different like styles on or something. Mine's a little bit more gray, and yours was very, very dark. I like your style though. That was cool.
It looks like the way your components are built. From what I see, all of those are TypeScript files on the side to them. So are those like components or are those just individual?
Yeah, these ones here are all components. There's a lot of information that gets passed around through how this is set up. So there's things like your ingredients are stored here in this context, and that can be passed into many different places. So wherever we need to access it, we can get it.
Okay, this isn't Angular. That's what. Okay, we use Angular, so this isn't no byproduct or something. This is just straight Visual Code.
Yeah, this is just straight Visual Code.
That's why it looks so different to me. I was trying to figure out why it looks so different.
Yeah. That's about it.
All right, great job, great job. Let's give this group a round of applause as well. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Great job. And once again, congratulations on completing this bootcamp. It's been a long 6 months, for others a little bit longer. However, we all made it. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. We are always here to help. Just like Career Services said, hey, we're here for you. All right. And also, There have been instructors that I've had 5 years ago, and they still help out whenever I ask them questions. So this is a huge community that will always be around to help you on your future endeavors. Never hesitate to reach out. All right. So one last time for the graduating class, let's give ourselves a huge round of applause. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you have a magnificent night.
Take care, everybody.
Congrats.
Goodbye.
Congrats, everyone.